Hi, welcome to James Miller Lifeology, where you learn to simplify and transform your spirit, mind, and body. My name is James Miller. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a composer. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let's get started. I wanted to take just a quick moment to thank you all who continually support and listen to James Miller Lifeology. I have been so blessed and honored by your continual support. I wanted to make sure that you don't miss out on anything exciting that's happening over here. So make sure you sign up for my free newsletter at jamesmillerlifeology.com. I have a great show for you today. I'm going to remind you that you're just as relevant as your peers. I'll also be interviewing celebrity makeup artist and media personality Jacqui Phillips, who's going to share her inspirational story, as well as how she inspires the people around her. For more information on Jacqui, please visit JacquiPhillips.tv. That's spelled JacquiPhillips.tv. I have some exciting news. Did you know that I'm on the radio 3 times a week? You may hear me on the same station on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m., Fridays at 9:30 a.m., and Saturdays at 12:30 p.m. You may also hear me anytime on iHeartRadio, as well as on all the other major podcasting platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and many others. Simply search for the show name, James Miller Lifeology. Are you struggling today to find your purpose? Has mediocrity set in and you can't imagine doing the same thing for the rest of your life? Are your relationships struggling or you aren't sure how to make long-lasting changes in your life? Then today, contact me, James Miller. I will help you recognize the areas in your life that are going really well, and then we'll look at the areas in which you are struggling. We will create actionable solutions to help you create long-lasting changes in your life. You don't have to do this alone. Go to my website, jamesmillerlifeology.com, and click on the page, Work with James. Fill out the form, and it will be sent directly to me. Don't let another day go by without finding your way. Your change can start today. Once again, go to my website, jamesmillerlifeology.com, and click on the page, Work with James. Fill out that form to get started today. You're just as relevant as your peers. We can all look at people on TV and think, oh my goodness, I would love to be like them. I would love to have their life. I would love to be in front of the camera. I would love to be in front of the mic. And when we look at our own life, we feel like we don't have any value or perhaps any worth, or no one even pays attention to us. I have a great guest today, Jacqui Phillips, who's going to be talking about this amazing foundation that she has, Stars Behind the Stars, and you'll hear more about it shortly. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit more because I think it's so relevant. Each of us have an amazing skill set that was specifically designed for each one of us. If I had your life, I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't do very well at it either because it's not designed for me. And vice versa, if you had my life, you wouldn't enjoy it either because your skill set is different than my skill set. When we look at the people who get a lot of notoriety or perhaps are really famous, their skill set has been specifically designed for them. And yes, the world may see them more frequently, but the reality is we don't know what happens behind the scenes. Henry Ford created the automotive assembly line. Each person did their one specific job to create the car. However, when you look at that car, you just see the finished product. You don't see all the hard work that each individual did in order to create that finished product. Often we give value to those people who are in the media or perhaps who are in the public eye, and we discount our own amazing talents. If you help a friend study at night, you are behind the scenes helping that person get a good grade. If you are a parent at home raising a child, you are that parent behind the scenes that is creating this amazing young person. Or if you help your friends in a different way, you are that person who's helping them accomplish their goals. Yes, we're all self-made people as far as the choices we make, but we're not self-made people when it comes to how we get to the end result. In other words, I can introduce somebody to the person of their dreams, and that part of the story would be forgotten. Or you may introduce somebody who becomes a great business partner to somebody else. We are all linked together in this amazing thing called life. And yes, depending on the circumstances, each person will gain different types of notoriety. But the reality is, each one of us have just as much importance in the grand scheme of things. One of the great things I love to do is to look around and think, my gosh, everything I see was made by somebody. The shirt that I have on, the shoelaces that I have. Looking around in my studio, the foam that was created for my sound shields. There's so many different things that were created by a person, or a person was a part of that. I have no idea who these people are, but I can look around and think, I couldn't have this if that person didn't do that. It's the same thing in life when it comes to everything we do. Each person has this amazing contribution. So I really want to validate you. If you're not perhaps in front of the public eye and maybe behind the scenes, that's an amazing, wonderful gift you've been given. The skill set that you have is specifically designed for you. And the people who may get that notoriety cannot do that without you. So remember, your value is just as great as everybody else's. Continue to be that amazing, wonderful person you are and be diligent with the skill set that you have. Did you know I have a YouTube channel? That's actually how Lifeology started. I have well over 155 episodes that I've created specifically for you. I do know that many people struggle with listening to a full 30-minute show. So these episodes are about 3 minutes long. Each episode will give you a practical tool or technique that you can practice daily to help you simplify and transform your spirit, mind, and body. Simply go to my website, jamesmillerlifeology.com, or go to YouTube and search for my name, James Miller Lifeology. Jacqui Phillips is an American TV and radio host, celebrity makeup artist, lifestyle coach, executive producer, creator, public speaker, best-selling author, and entrepreneur. Jacqui's radio show, Reset, with her co-host, Sifu Carl Romaine, is on the Power 91.1 WTYJ out of Atlanta. Jacqui's mission in life is to inspire others to aspire to be their best selves. She encourages others to break the shackles of their lives in order to walk in truth and embrace their unique divine purpose. Welcome to my show, Jacqui.
Thank you so much, James. I am so excited to be here.
I am as well. That was quite a mouthful. I read. You do so many amazing things. So you're really going to inspire us all today. So thank you once again for joining with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It sounds like I do.
Isn't that amazing? I know sometimes when I hear people read my stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, is that me? I mean, who are they talking about? Now, how did you get into this world? I mean, like I said, you just do so much, as far as the media, celebrity makeup artist, lifestyle coach. How did you even come about all that?
Well, I went to school in Tampa. I went to the University of Tampa and graduated with a degree in criminology and psychology. So I always really had a heart for people and wanted to work with people. And when I was in school, I was doing some modeling, and my agent in Florida sent me to New York. And I was doing a photo shoot, and someone didn't show up to do my makeup. And I did my own, and then the photographer started hiring me, and it like catapulted into me doing this makeup artistry. Like I went to Europe.
Wow.
And never quit working from the moment I started. And it was funny because he was like, well, why don't you just do makeup while you're figuring out what you want to do with the rest of your life, because you're really good at it, and at least you could work and like figure it out. So that's what happened. So I had no idea what I was doing on God's green earth. Like I just knew how to I always did my mom's makeup. My parents got divorced when I was 9, or I was actually 8. And so she started dating. So I would do like her hair and makeup for her dates. And then,
so funny.
I'm like child labor. I was like working on my and then getting my mom ready for dates. And I just knew how to do it. I can't explain it. I did my first wedding when I was 9 years old.
Oh my
gosh,
my
cousin
Jacqui.
got married.
Wow.
Yeah, I did her hair and makeup. It was the 80s, so obviously people weren't, doing makeup like they do today, like with a real professional. But so I mean, I always had this natural ability. My grandfather was a painter. And he was a painter before they actually made paint colors, and he mixed and made all his colors by hand.
Gosh. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that was obviously a very, very long time ago. But so I grew up around color, and then I grew up in the restaurant business, which was all about creating food and drinks and, just like being of service to others, really. So it really came very naturally for me to paint, not ever on paper. I cannot draw. I do not have that artistic ability in that way. But I can paint faces. So that's really what happened. And I got a really great job very early on. I started working in television, and I met someone, and they introduced me to Judy Collins, the singer.
Oh yeah.
And I joined her, and I toured the world with her for 7.5 years. And she is still, I mean, I was just on tour with her last summer, but she's been an angel in my life. She taught me everything there was to know about entertainment and media.
That's amazing.
She taught me so much about makeup because, she worked with the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was really young. I was in my early 20s. So she knew I had no idea what I was doing also. I mean, I knew, but I didn't.
Sure.
So
we have the natural talent, but still, there's so much more for all of us to learn. There's so much more I can learn about life. Yeah.
Yeah. It needed honed.
Mm-hmm.
That still needed honed. And so then one thing led to another, and I just did it. So that is how the makeup happened. And I've I've always worked in media. I've always worked with, entertainers or on shows or, fashion or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And you
Then
actually did makeup for some of the reality shows as well, right?
I have, yeah. I did Mob Wives. I did the entire run from day one till day end. I ran that makeup department, the beauty department
Mm-hmm.
for that. I did the beginning of New Jersey Housewives. I did the first couple seasons. And then what happened was the executive producer on that show went to Mob Wives. So then she asked me to join her on Mob Wives.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's how that happened. And I've done lots of reality. Like I do stuff for Food Network. I just finished a show with Buddy Valastro. He has a new show coming out called Buddy's Big Down.
Oh, cool.
It was so much fun. But I do a lot of those kinds of shows now also. So it's interesting, because it's always a different kind of a day. So it's fun.
Yeah, yes, it definitely is fun. I mean, being in the media and doing that, the behind the scenes or even the front of the camera or just shows like this, I mean, it is so much fun. I mean, I can tell that you really get energized by it. And it's just such a powerful, wonderful thing.
Well, and I also look at it as like, because I am very entrepreneurial and I'm always doing my own projects too, because we always wonder, like, why is God keeping us in this one place,
sure.
this one sect, and I've done so many different things, as far as like I have a children's series I write and I have, my Reset book and my Reset radio show and all these things that are different outlets, but of course they're all under the same umbrella.
Sure.
Beauty, inside out, kindness, love. But I always still stay in the beauty end of media, whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever it is. And you always wonder, like, why does God keep you there? But obviously there's always a reason. Yes. And we must understand that. And I've learned to quit fighting it and surrender. And now that I've been surrendering, even more opportunities have been coming that are really amazing. So it's really funny how life works that way.
Yes, it really does. It's so many we can have so many ideas of where life's going to go. But once, like you said, once you do surrender, we find that our life sometimes takes a completely different turn, but it's always so much more enjoyable, so much more fulfilling, so much more peaceful, if you will.
It is. And the reason I actually started saying that, I went on a rabbit trail, I'm sorry, is because I realized that by me staying in this, section of media, I have like such a grace and ability to learn so many different skill sets by working on such big projects. You're working with the best of the best on certain shows. And then you learn, oh, this is a great way this producer does this. Oh, this is the kind of lights they're using for this. Like I'm always like,
wow, that's so neat.
Things, and I learn a lot. So that's always, and especially for hosting, I still host on TBN a little bit, and I host for Millennium Magazine. So I'm watching my talent too because they're so talented, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a great way to say something like that, or it looks good when they stand this way, or, so I'm getting a lot more out of it than just being there doing, makeup.
Yes,
so.
Yes. That is so neat. I love to hear you continually grow and develop, and your skill set has expanded so much. That's really cool. I wanted to switch gears here because you have what's called Stars Behind the Stars. Why don't you tell my listeners about that? Because I think it's a phenomenal organization.
Thank you. So Stars Behind the Stars has definitely been my passion project, and we have new life again. So some things are happening with it. What happened with Stars, and I think this is like a really valuable conversation we're having right now for your listener about Stars Behind the Stars, because I spent about 5 years now, probably maybe a little more, developing it. I shot 3 different pilots, all paid for by myself. I got very close to selling it. We had a couple networks that said yes. And then that brick wall came up. And I could not understand why I couldn't sell that project. Why I couldn't get past that brick wall. Like, I got the letters, we got the yes, they loved it, and then nothing. And during that time, I was going through a reset. And there are things going on in my life that I was unaware of in relationships that would have been very damaging to me had all that happened. So God always has a plan. He always knows better. We don't understand it when it's happening. At the time, I was not hosting on TBN yet. I was not hosting for Millennium. I hadn't, written my books, nothing. So when that project stalled, and then I went through all this trauma with the resets, that was when the book ideas started coming to me, and then all these people started telling me I needed to write a book.
Oh.
And I thought tooth and nail, like, you're crazy. I was like having conversations with God. You're obviously insane. Like, I'm not supposed to write a book. What could I possibly write about? And so that I did everything that I felt in my spirit I was told to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote Reset. I wrote the children's series. I'm still writing the children's series. I have another one coming out for International Children's Month in June.
Oh, great.
Hugs Are Happy. There's a book, there's a coloring book, and there's a song called Hugs Are Happy. So that I'll release all that for International Children's Month. But with that all being said, I realized the reason that project was stalled is because I wasn't ready for it. It wasn't developed the way it should. God had a different plan. There is new life to the project, and we have interest and things are happening right now as we speak, which I really am not privy to really share, but it is happening. And the exciting part of it is that, when God does put a desire in our heart, it does come to fruition. It may not be the way we see. I mean, totally, obviously, in my life, it's never in my timing. But
I totally understand that, Jacqui.
It definitely is. It does come to pass. And the idea of Stars Behind the Stars is to celebrate the magic behind the scenes, the amazing people that bring, TV shows that we watch, movies, beauty products, a celebrity even, or a song to life. It's the magic that makes it happen, and the people are the magic. And I got the idea when I was on tour with Judy. So imagine how many years ago it first came into my spirit, because, I'm from a really small town in Pennsylvania. I grew up really simple. I never imagined even doing half of the things or most of them that I've done in my lifetime.
Sure.
And so to go on tour with Judy and, see the world and be on private planes and in limos in my 20s and 30s was like, what? And especially I fell into that career totally by accident. So it was just constantly saying yes to life. And, seeing that there's beautiful people making food for us. There's people setting the stage, buying the flowers, creating the set, changing the lighting. I never knew any of those jobs existed. And I really would have to say most people in the world don't know these jobs exist. Yes. And I wanted to shine light on these different careers that are passion careers, like the people I've worked with. God, do they love what they do. And I think that it's nice for children or even adults that maybe want to do a different career of passion and they hate their job. It's nice to know that different careers exist that you could love.
Yes.
You could have passion for it. You can make a great living at. You could see the world doing it. And I wanted to just introduce people to this other world.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you. So I wanted to be like the Robin Leach of, behind the wrist, but it's like the stars behind the stars.
I love it.
And get my yoga pants and tell the story, but that's not happening because they keep putting me on camera. So I have to dress up and put some makeup on, but what are you going to do?
That's so funny. But I really like that because you're right. There's so many people who don't know, maybe for a movie or for television, like what a grip is. They don't know what that, what that term is. You may see that like first grip, second grip. You're like, what is a grip? And all those things. I mean, there's so many names and terminologies, but it's right. Everything that you see on TV, there's so many behind the scenes elements that people don't have any clue about.
It's true. I mean, most of a show or a movie or a song or even a makeup product, it's all behind the scenes. Yeah. It's all that work until it's actually what you see. And, I just wanted to celebrate those people, celebrate their genius, and give them a way to shine too. So that is the idea of Stars Behind the Stars.
Well, we're going to continue to offer amazing, great thoughts and just really believe that that's going to move towards at the right timing, at the right space, with the right network, whatever it's supposed to be. We're really going to believe with you that show is really going to move forward. So thank you for telling us about that. I mean, I can't wait to hear more about that in the future.
Thank you. And amen to that.
Yes.
I always say ear lives to God's ears. So thanks.
When you look at your life overall, one of your biggest things is you really want to inspire people to aspire to reach their highest destiny. What are some additional ways you do that outside of maybe what we've heard thus far?
Well, I always try to look from a place of positivity and encourage others. And I would definitely say, like, through my books, I do that. And definitely through my weekly radio show that I have on Thursday nights. It's on Power 91.1 WTYJ. It's out, like you said, it's out of Atlanta. But my show is called Reset. I host the show with my co-host, Sifu Carl Romaine. And we interview amazing people every week.
That's awesome.
All walks of life, experts, celebrities, athletes, stay-at-home moms, whatever it is, it's someone who's reset their life and they share the tools that they use to do it. And that has been so inspiring because people are so generous with their spirits, all the things they share with us. And it's really a blessing to be able to do that. And that's another thing, I totally said yes to. I was on a show on that station, and the producer and owner of the station, Taiwan, PV is his name. He's also a musician.
Oh, cool.
He said, Jacqui, would you like to have a radio show? And I was like, why? I don't think so. And I was like, maybe when my book comes out, I should have an outlet to talk about it, but that's not happening for another year. And he was like, well, we really loved having you as a guest and we think you would be great. And I was like, well, I'm in the mood. I'm in this moment to say yes to life. I'll do it. I have no idea on God's green earth what I'm doing. But if you help me, I can write, I know I can write and I can do research and all that. But the tech stuff is clueless to me.
Yeah.
And so we started doing it. And then I invited my friend Sifu to be on the show, and he had invited me to do a TV thing with him and to host it along with him. And we had so much fun. I was like, you should be my co-host. I'm like, you bring so much to the table. There's such a different element. He has such a different, life expertise than I do. He's a master business coach, life coach, relationship coach. I just thought between the two of us, we could offer such different attitudes and perspectives. So that's how it happened. And it's been a year now. Or over a year. It's over a year, yeah.
That is awesome. That is really cool. It's your show is very similar to mine in the respect of it's, lifeology. We all have a lesson we can teach each other. We all experience the same emotions. It's just expressed, or the circumstances and how those emotions come out are different, but we're all connected with our own emotions. Everything we experience is the same. And that's a beautiful thing about being a human, is our emotional expression. So I'd love to hear that, the lessons that we can all teach each other. So it sounds like your show inspires so many people. So that is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
With everything you're doing, what do you think is next on the horizon for you?
Well, next on the horizon is some things that I'm doing with stars. And the other thing is, like I said, I have the new children's book, Hugs Are Happy, launching. I also wrote another song for my Stinky Teeth book, so that'll come out.
That's cute.
I have another song I wrote. It's a love song for the kids. They're all kids songs because I'm just so silly. So I have the music coming out, which is super, and I don't sing, so don't worry, James. We will not the children. I have beautiful singers that sing songs. I just write it. And then, I'm working on syndicating the radio show for, Sifu and I. That's a dream of ours.
That's awesome.
To syndicate the radio show.
Yes.
So, just kind of continuing to grow in the space that I am, and leaving it to God, though, of the direction he sees fit for it all.
Yes.
So,
and that's exciting. Sometimes we're like, I don't know what's going to come next, but as we're faithful and do what we're supposed to do, just today, it opens up the door for tomorrow. And then tomorrow opens up the door to next year. And then it keeps going and going. And so just learning how to find that stillness and find that patience in the moment really allows for bigger and better and more powerful opportunities to come along the horizon.
No, you're so right. And, one day I was really frustrated because I had there are people in your life, and this is so good for your audience too, is sometimes, we share our dreams with the wrong people.
We certainly do.
And they put us down and discourage us. And I was so excited about my children's series, and I am so excited about it because the kids really love it. And the books are really pouring out of me. And I had someone give me this advice, like, you shouldn't launch any more books. Your reset book just came out. You're confusing people. They're going to think you're schizophrenic, that you have all these things going on. Well, not really, but
I know, but I'm saying just that advice in general. That's wow. How discouraging.
And I thought that was really mean. And so my girlfriend, who I am friends with through Christian Women in Media, her name is, like I said, Pastor Betty Swan. I said, Betty, I don't know what to do. I wrote this adorable children's book and a song, and I'm so excited about it. And she's like, you know what? Quit telling people things. Put it on the shelf. When God's ready to use it, you'll know to take it off that shelf.
Yes.
So as they're pouring out of you, you just write those books, and when you're supposed to use them, they'll be used.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, that was really good advice.
Yes.
And it was advice I needed to hear, because what happens is when people are crushing your dreams, you often don't finish them.
You don't. Exactly.
You believe what people say, and you think, oh yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe this is stupid. I'm not really making any money doing this, whatever. But we never know in 5 years that one little song could be on every commercial known to man. You just never know. Yeah. So,
and whether they're well-meaning people or not, the point is the dream was put in your heart. It wasn't put in their heart. It wasn't put in anybody else's heart. So learning how to, like your pastor friend said, really discerning who is in your inner circle. If they're not in your inner circle, regardless even if they're family or someone else, you have to be so mindful and so wise about that. Because like I said, a well-meaning person can destroy a dream because it was never put in their heart.
And it can also destroy your unique divine purpose in the world.
Yes, it certainly can. Yeah.
So you're right. You have to be very discerning and safeguard those dreams, like you would a little baby.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're yours and they're important.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, Jacqui Phillips, this has been an amazing time talking with you. I'm so honored that you were on my show today. If my listeners would like to find out more information about you, about your book Reset, about the children's books that you do, about the radio show, everything that you're doing, where will they find this information online?
They can go to my website, which is jacquiphillips.tv, and it's JACQUIPHILLIPS.tv, or all my handles on social media are Jacqui J. Phillips.
Perfect. Well, Jacqui, thank you once again for joining with us today. I had an absolute wonderful time talking with you.
Thank you so much, James, and I love what you're doing. Thank you for letting me be on your show. It was truly an honor and a privilege, so thank you.
I also want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in today. Please subscribe to this radio show through whichever portal you joined with us today, or please go to my website where you may sign up for my free newsletter, watch my YouTube episodes, read the articles I've written specifically for you, or you may enroll in the Lifeology Academy where you can take self-directed courses which will help you simplify and transform your spirit, mind, and body. If you'd like to personally work with me, be a guest on, or advertise on this show, simply visit jamesmillerlifeology.com. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms under the name James Miller Lifeology, except for Twitter, which is James M. Lifeology. Once again, thank you so much for your support, and I'll talk to you soon.